right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again for another live stream, bringing you the latest in Chelsea transfer news and Chelsea news as well. Quite a bit to talk about in regards to Andrey Santos. He is doing some madness, and it's got some parts of the fan base believing that maybe, just maybe, instead of going out there and panicking in regards to the midfield situation, maybe just roll the dice, see how it goes with Andrey Santos. But he is young. You don't want to throw these young kids to the deep end, and the Premier League is the deepest of all the deep ends out there. We're going to talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi, and you saw what happened when Sarri said, "Gotta calm down, gotta calm down." You don't want to do the same thing with Andrey Santos as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi, I think. This guy probably needs to go to championship now, if I'm being absolutely honest. And we'll talk about all of this. Of course, Amadou Onana alternative, is that what we want? Apparently, we haven't given up on Moises Caicedo, so obviously we'll talk about that. Over 116 live already after 1.5 minutes. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. The channel is absolutely popping off lately, man. Honestly, the way we are moving, we are getting closer and closer to 20,000. I believe it's close to about 300 odd to get. So let's get there together, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoy it, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. You will not leave this particular stream without feeling satisfied. I'm telling you, this is such a wholesome channel. I know I run it, and I don't want to boast too much about it, but I feel like we connect together. We discuss everything together. You're going to love it. And we get a lot out of it. We stay well informed. I want to make this channel the #1 channel when it comes to all things Chelsea, in terms of news, in terms of discussions, in terms of interactions. Only you guys can make it happen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, let's go through this little bits and pieces in regards to Moises Caicedo. Big up to every one of you guys that have joined, honestly. Big up to Jake, big up to Matt Ball, Chef Jeff, Truculent, I believe that's the name. Eden Osman, President Jafar, Prabal, Digital Film Reviews, Olasini, I hope I pronounced that right. CFC, Za, lots of people. Big up to each and every one of you guys. All right, let's get stuck into this. First up, apparently, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea, we're not giving up. We are not giving up at the moment, so which is good to see. Look, I believe, well, for me as well, the top preferences are Caicedo and Enzo Fernández. I mean, if we get Caicedo now, hopefully we get Enzo in the summer window. But at least one of them, and these are our top targets, at least one of them in January. So, and I was thinking when the price of about 75 million was getting touted around, that surely Chelsea, we can do something, come as close to that with add-ons and whatnot, and make this particular transfer happen. But obviously, in recent times, the 100 million price tag was getting thrown around for Moises Caicedo, and this is what we're going to talk about. This is what Ben Jacobs. Do you know what Ben Jacobs? I think he's got some close connection. We've already known, like we know, Ben Jacobs has got some close connection with our owners, and seems like. Obviously, our owners have some close connections with Brighton, and Ben Jacobs seems to have picked up those close connections as well. He tends to get some bits and pieces from Brighton owners quite often. So this is what he had to say, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea haven't given up on Moises Caicedo. Brighton have had an offer rejected for Leipzig's Amadou Haidara. So look, Brighton is going for Leipzig's Amadou Haidara. So it seems like, even though they're staunch in regards to not selling Caicedo, but they're going for Amadou Haidara, who's also a, you can call it a defensive midfielder, central midfielder, whatever the case is. They're trying to go for this. So, they've had an offer rejected for Leipzig's Amadou Haidara. If they sign him, there's a feeling Caicedo could yet leave. Not easy for Brighton, since Leipzig don't want to sell. Clause in Haidara's contract only allows for summer exit. The Lou Shed is saying, let's buy Haidara. I mean, what do you guys think about? Amadou Haidara. Look, I've not watched, as I said, Leipzig that often enough to make a case for Amadou Haidara. I know Man United have been chasing him. So let me know. Obviously, Vivel is working something out for everyone. Exactly right. He would be very close to the Leipzig situation. Onana is a panic buy. Bowley out. Oh, calm yourself down, the Undertaker. Bowley out. But I do think Onana, which we're going to get to, I think he's a bit of a panic buy as well. Brighton are not seriously quoting 100 million. What they are actually saying is Caicedo is not for sale. So he's not really, tipped to be about 100 million. He's not anywhere near that valuation. It's just basically it's another way from Brighton to say that he's not up for sale. The figure itself comes from Graham Potter's own half-joking, half-serious, as Brighton CEO Paul Barber put it, valuation when he was still Brighton boss. Ben Jacobs further goes on to say an offer of 75 million or one with a strong structure for less would still be given Brighton a serious decision to make, especially with Caicedo extremely keen on the move. He is very humble and focused, so will not force a transfer like Wesley Fofana. He's very humble and focused. So what are we trying to say about Wesley Fofana? He's not humble. Wesley Fofana is not humble and he's not focused. But he'd love a January move to Chelsea. So there you go. Like Ben Jacobs, look, I'd actually take his words like seriously, because I feel like, as I said, Ben Jacobs is connected to, he's got some internal information with our owners, and then obviously our owners are close to Brighton. I think he's got some internal dealings with Brighton as well. So I take this seriously when Ben Jacobs is talking like this, that Caicedo, he'd love a move in January to Chelsea Football Club. It's great to know. It's important to also note 75 million is an extremely high number, hence why Chelsea came in much lower. The initial fee for Aurelien Tchouameni was 75 million euros, 66 million. Multiple sources have made it clear it is unreasonable for Caicedo to be priced higher than Real midfielder. It's true. If we have Tchouameni as sort of like the benchmark, I suppose, when it comes to running the midfield, whether it's a 6, whether it's an 8, he can pretty much play all of those positions. Obviously, for France, he played as a 6. For Real Madrid, I think basically plays as a 6, but he's very well versed to play as an 8 as well. He can bomb up and down. There's no absolutely worries about that. Cesc Fabregas said Tchouameni can literally play anywhere in midfield, anywhere. Ben Jacobs further goes on to say, ultimately, Brighton can stick to their position of not for sale and either refuse to engage or quote astronomical numbers. After all, they ideally don't want to lose Caicedo mid-season, which is true. They've already lost Trossard. They don't want to lose Caicedo. I think they're ambitious this season. They want to get somewhere. They're sixth at the moment, I believe, in the Premier League table. Roberto De Zerbi is doing really well. So, yeah, I don't know if they would like to lose another top player. But if they do bring in Haidara, not a given, things could yet change in the final few days of the windows. Chelsea absolutely haven't walked away. Now, maybe Christopher Vivel can broker the move of Haidara to Brighton, and then hopefully we can get our man from Brighton, Caicedo, to Chelsea Football Club. We're now helping out our technical director, Christopher Vivel. It seems to be a bit of a puppet master, I suppose, in other clubs as well. Still running the show, it seems like. Well, we have to run the show, it seems like, with Leipzig. If we can somehow convince Leipzig to sell Haidara to Brighton, I think that would be fantastic. It looks like, look, at the end of the day, every club is looking out for replacement. Same thing with Malo Gusto as well, ladies and gentlemen. Malo Gusto is desperate to leave Lyon and join us, but Lyon's looking for a replacement. And apparently, as of yesterday, Lyon was looking for Lamptey, but now Lamptey is getting targeted by Sporting Lisbon because Spurs are trying to get Pedro Porro from Sporting Lisbon. So there's going to be a madness. There is going to be a madness for the remaining days left in this January transfer window. Whole heap of domino effect. You're going to start seeing a major domino effect happening. So watch this space. Look, for me personally, ladies and gentlemen, Caicedo is still the number one target. I want us to stick to number one targets, man. Honestly, I don't want us to deter away and start looking elsewhere. And we're going to talk about starting to look elsewhere very, very soon, alternatives. I don't want to do that. What about Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle Pulisic? Are you kidding me? You actually think Bruno Guimaraes is going to leave? But this guy, I think he's in love with Newcastle. He seriously is. Bruno Guimaraes loves Newcastle, and Newcastle's third in the table. Newcastle's flying. They're potentially going to beat Southampton in Carabao Cup. Like they're gonna go to the final against Man United, and they probably have a very good chance. Even though Man United's doing really well, Bruno Guimaraes, forget about him. There's no way. Newcastle is going to be a super club. Like, it's not going to take too long. Eddie Howe's killing it there. We're going to have to start respecting Newcastle. I don't think we can just push them around and get their players anymore like the good old days. This is not the same Newcastle. They got money now. They got money. This ain't happening, man. Why everybody is talking about why everybody is talking about Kone? Can someone explain what makes this guy that special? Did somebody actually watch his game and not only his YouTube comp? Look, I don't know much about Kone, but literally the majority parts of this fan base, Chelsea fan base, they love Kone. They love Kone. And when that happens, why not? What about Amrabat? Look, I don't know what's going on, man. I'd take Amrabat. I think Amrabat's amazing. The World Cup performance that he put up was sensational, but no talks in regards to Amrabat at the moment. I think Liverpool were talking about Amrabat, but I'm not really sure whether that's cooled down. So far, he's potentially going to stay in Fiorentina. I don't have any hope of signing Caicedo this window. It's just literally 5 more days left in this window to shut. Look, you never know, man. You never know. I wouldn't put anything away at the moment. Honestly, everything is possible. It becomes mad right at the end. The last few days of the transfer window, it really becomes mad. Now, check this out. This is apparently the alternative. If looks like Enzo Fernández is not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Caicedo, I still have some hope. But if it doesn't happen, looks like this could be one of the alternative. I feel like I don't want to look into alternatives. If we can't get Enzo, if we can't get Caicedo, then let's stay put. We're going to talk about Andrey Santos, and I feel like, maybe give bits and pieces of minutes to Andrey Santos. Let's not forget we're potentially going to get Kante back as well, hopefully by the end of February. And meanwhile, we're just going to have to make do. I know I'm not happy about it as well. I know you guys wouldn't be happy either, but I don't want to spend the money on just another sort of side player. We've got Zakaria hopefully coming back as well. So apparently, look at this. According to the Times, Chelsea have stepped up their interest in the Everton midfielder Amadou Onana as a possible alternative to Enzo Fernández and Moises Caicedo. Ladies and gentlemen, you let me know. What do you think about Amadou Onana? Look, from the bits that I've watched, whenever I've watched Everton, right, there's been a couple of games that I've watched Everton this season. He's looked all right. I'm not even going to lie. He's looked okay. Physically, he's very good. He can go up and down with a lot of pace and physicality. I guess Everton as a team hasn't been good, but I shouldn't just blame it all on Amadou Onana. He's tall. His ball playing ability isn't that bad, but I don't know. Like, I feel like he's another side man. Like, no problems. We can get him, but as long as we have a plan in the summer that we are going to get one of our main players. As long as in the summer we get one of our number one targets. I don't want to just settle for Onana right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, just for the sake of it. If that's the case, I might as well just make do with what I have for the time being. But, I mean, what do you guys think? If we don't get Enzo Fernández, if we don't get Caicedo, are you guys happy with Onana? Let me know. Let me know, what do you like about Onana and what you don't like about Onana, and do you want him as well? Let's have a look at what you guys are saying. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need Onana. Is he a good destroyer? From the matches I've seen, he's all right. Like, nothing to really praise about. He's okay. He's not bad either. Like, do you know what I mean? As a half Belgian, I watched a lot of Onana. There you go, Matt Ball. As a half Belgian, I watched a lot of Onana, and I can say, depending on the price, he would be worth it. Fair enough. Do you know what? That's probably the only thing that really entices me to get someone like Onana. Surely Amadou Onana shouldn't be worth a lot of money. I know Everton are financially in a lot of mess and they do need to balance out their books. That's why they're looking to get rid of players like Amadou Onana, Anthony Gordon. Amadou Onana, look, honestly speaking, because Everton's in a mess, they're going to get relegated. Most likely they're going to get relegated. I'd take him for no more than about maximum, somewhere between 25 to 30 million pounds. 25 to 30 million pounds. Someone's saying loan. Yeah, loan as well. Why not even loan? Just loan him for 6 months and just cover his wages, I suppose. Make sure that Everton doesn't have to bear that. Forget about DM Destroyer for now. We can't get our first choice. We can't get Enzo. Maybe go for Onahi, the Moroccan. I like Onahi as well. I really do. I think he's talking to someone else. Is it Napoli that he's talking to? I'm not quite sure, but he's linked to some other team out there. Chelsea literally are not linked with this particular player. Onana, what's his name? Onana, what's his name? That's funny. Balak CFC, good to see you, my man. I'm sorry, Caicedo and Enzo to Onana isn't it? Yes, he's physical and can run. We have Zakaria who can do this. Is why yesterday I said, let's not panic buy. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like, I agree with you, man. I agree. Like, Onana doesn't really change our midfield. It's a good body to have, but it doesn't transform us. And I feel like we need players that really, really transform us. I think Enzo Fernández undoubtedly transforms us. Caicedo, different dynamics from Enzo Fernández, but I think still gives us a lot in midfield. So I want that level of a player. Do you know what I mean? I want that level of a player. Can we use Reece as DM and Gusto as right back? And this is something that we probably need to think about. We probably need to think about whether Reece James, is there an opportunity to perhaps use him down the track in the defensive midfield? I've got no issues. I like that shout. Completely like that shout. When I compare to Caicedo, I don't mean player style, but more to level when he came in. Yeah, fairs. Fair enough, man. Because Chelsea should just lay off. We fixed defense. We fixed attack. We can make do with this midfield if the signings start performing. Let's wait till summer. I'm happy to wait. I know I've been screaming for a midfielder. I think a lot of you guys have been screaming for a midfielder and a right back as well. But that doesn't mean we just want any midfielder. Do you know what I mean? We don't want just anyone. We want our top targets. So I'd rather stick to that. Stop putting Reece in midfield. He ain't deep lying playmaker. He would ruin his offensive capabilities. I don't know, man. I don't know. He doesn't necessarily have to be a deep lying playmaker per se. You can have playmakers on either sides of your defensive midfielder as well. If he can do what I suppose Casemiro does for Man United, what Rodri does for Man City, I'm not saying it has to be at their level, but from a defensive standpoint, we know Reece James is an extremely good defender. And don't forget Reece's passing ability. Please don't disregard it one bit. Reece is a good ball player, man. And his crosses from deep, can you imagine? He picks up the ball from deep and just whips in across. So, he's played DM in Wigan as well. It's not like he's alien to this notion. But of course, it's going to take a bit of time to adapt. And I think for his own body's sake, I think it's a shout. Whether we do it or not, I don't think it's quite feasible at the moment. Maybe he'll still continue as a right back, but it's something to think about. Onana absolutely does not upgrade our midfield in any way. We should buy players who upgrade our midfield instantly. I would rather have our current mid over him, only Enzo and Caicedo. Look, some of our current mids are probably not as good as Onana, I'd have to say. Like, for example, I think Onana is better than Ruben Loftus-Cheek when it comes to being a defensive midfielder. Then again, different styles, I understand that. But yeah, I hear you. I don't want Onana just for the sake of Onana. I want our number one selections. Miz, isn't it weird that some players in the Russian LG league have moved to other clubs abroad but apparently we can't get Zakarian now. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, people from UK will know better. Like, what's going on? Do the Chelsea government, do the UK government actually hate Chelsea that much? Seems like it, that they don't want to own. But now we've got new owners. I don't understand why we can't, like, our Russian owner Roman is gone. So I don't understand why we can't move on now. So we've talked about Moises Caicedo. I'm still hopeful that it's going to happen, but there is a chance that it may not happen, depending on whether Brighton can get a replacement. We've now talked about an alternative of Amadou Onana. And here's the next sort of mixer in this news. Andrey Santos, ladies and gentlemen, is creating headlines. He's participating at the moment for under 20 South American for Brazil in the under 20s South American Championship. I've been seeing some clips. I'm pretty sure you guys are all seeing his clips as well, all over social media. He's doing really well. I mean, is it probably worth taking a gamble on Andrey Santos in midfield? No. Potentially on a full-time basis, but getting bits and pieces of minutes here and there. I don't want to throw this kid into the deep end. The last thing you want to do is throw them into the deep end. They make mistakes, and the entire fan base is on their case. Much like what's gone on with Lewis Hall recently. I still think Lewis Hall, technically a very, very good player. There is a very good player, but he's young, man. He's like 18, 19. And I know he's going to make mistakes. This is the time to make mistakes. Similarly with Andrey Santos, check this out. Chelsea invested 12.5 million euros on Brazilian midfielder Andrey Santos at the end of December. And his value is rising as he scored 3 goals in 3 games at the under-20 South American Championship as a midfielder. City Group and Newcastle wanted him to, but he picked us. Look, our new owners, this was one of their business plans, to pick up young talents, which then turn out to be hopefully superstars and really, really yield a lot of money, become quite valuable in the market. And it seems like this player is turning out to be that particular guy. Andrey Santos, it was a very good start. It's a dream come true to play for one of the biggest clubs in Europe, a huge club like Chelsea. I'm very happy. Everyone who's close to me knows that it was my goal when I was 18 to be in Europe. And thank God I was able to achieve it. I mean, captain of Brazil as well. Brazil under 20s captain. That's a big deal, man. That's a big deal. Yes, the biggest problem is this, Mad Boy. You're right. Work permit is still an issue for Santos. By the way, will be cleared up soon, but not ready to come yet. Yeah, look, hopefully we get that sorted. I know this is the issue at the moment, but hopefully we get that sorted. Andrey Santos is a special player. We should not throw him right away into the first team mix. We should slowly integrate him into the first team and build his confidence to make him a true superstar. That's what I mean. I think start from the bench, give some minutes, and then build him up. I think he will be in our first team for next season. I hope he is, man. The bigger question is loan or keep. That is the bigger question. I think we keep. I mean, we're looking for a midfield. Might as well use him for the time being, right? I know it's not the same thing. Caicedo was coming in to start. Enzo would come in to absolutely transform the midfield. But you keep someone like Andrey Santos basically to get bits and pieces of minutes. So it's different responsibility, right? Andrey Santos is fantastic. Seems like a real old school player. Like, remember when back in the days, mids used to be well-rounded and could play 6 and 8. He's special. Let's integrate him and let him cook. Yeah, his goal yesterday was a header. Lovely free kick, and he put in a nice header. The goal before that, it was a driving run from midfield all by himself, and he scored. This guy, there's something special about him. There's no doubt about that. We can't say Chelsea need to scout gold and not just fancy names. Then Chelsea want Onana. Nah, he doesn't transform Chelsea. Now, look, fair enough. I get your point. But, Mavel, like, is Onana your first choice? Because I believe our first choice are Caicedo and or Enzo. I rather us focusing on a project with our first targets. I know we're not always going to get first targets. I understand that. I get what you were saying. Sometimes you do need to have... Look, I have no issues if we get Onana now, but then we must get an Enzo Fernández in the summer. I can't have an Onana. I can't have, another secondary. Like, I don't want to fill out the whole midfield with secondary targets. We must get at least one primary target. And then, fair enough, I'm happy to fill it up with Onanas and whoever else. I can't just have, all of these secondary targets eating up the place. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is the heat map for Andrey Santos. Obviously, this isn't the Brazilian one yet, but this is from his league days in Vasco da Gama last season, 2022. So check this out. Like, obviously, he can play in defensive midfield. He can play in central midfield as well. Weakness, apparently, is discipline. I think I pointed that out last time. Look, obviously, he's a kid, so hopefully his discipline will get better. As a kid, you could potentially have problems with discipline, but strengths, ground duels, positioning, tackling. Look at the areas he's covering as well, all around that central midfield. Why not? Honestly, why not give him that chance? Obviously, recently, Brazil played Colombia 1-1, apparently. That was the case. Prior to that, it was against Argentina. I just want to have a quick look at this. Andrey Santos, as you can see, he's in that midfield area. Captain of Brazil, scored that goal. I think they had a really interesting formation against Argentina as well. But honestly, I'd be inclined to give Andrey Santos a bit of an opportunity. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. Potter has never used a profile like Onana in his career. I hope this isn't panic. Clicks, good to see you. Salam, brother Miz. Walaikum salam, my man. There's a picture of you in 2009 where you are with your cousins or friends at the Emirates. Here we go again. And people are saying you're an Arsenal fan. Can you clarify for those idiots that you're not? Look, I don't know how many times I'm going to keep clarifying this. What do I do with all these idiots? Like, I guess every time this comes up, I'm going to have to say something always. 2009. Like, just honestly, just think about for yourself. If one is you guys have recently seen me cry in this channel. Like, I've cried at least a couple of times in this channel. Why am I going to cry for Chelsea if I don't follow Chelsea since ages ago? Why would one want to just change football club? If anything, Arsenal's doing well now. 2009. Why would I all of a sudden want to change club from 2009? If anything, before 2009, Chelsea were flying. Of course, after 2009, we won the Champions League, but there was a lot of glory before 2009. Just like, have a look at that picture. Have a look at that picture. Forget about what people are putting caption. Literally with my family, my cousins, they're all my cousins in UK. They're all Arsenal fans. They took me to an Emirates, to a match in Emirates. I'm the only one who doesn't have any Arsenal merchandise. What am I going to do? People take a picture and they want to, just because I said few things about Mason Mount, they take a picture. The biggest question is, what are they doing stooping around, hacking into my Facebook? That's the bigger question. Do you know what I mean? So look, don't pay attention. Like, use your brain. People will brand it as much as they'll take that picture, they'll put a caption that he's an Arsenal fan. And that's all people see. People don't actually look at the picture. It's silly, man. It's absolutely silly. And if they have any issues with me going to a rival club stadium, that's mad. In 2009 was the first time I went to London, right? 2 weeks. I couldn't get a Chelsea ticket, right? And went there, and the only match I got to see was when my cousins took me to a fourth round FA Cup match of Arsenal versus Burnley. That's the only game that I watched in those 2 weeks. Then I went in 2015. I finally got to Stamford Bridge. Watched Chelsea versus Watford, if you guys remember. It was the season when everything was going south for Mourinho. Gus Hiddink took over. It was 2-2. Watford were leading 2-0. We had an opportunity to win with Oscar. and then Oscar missed that penalty. I even went on that trip. I went to Upton Park when West Ham was in that ground with my brother. Me and my brother. I'm a Chelsea fan. My brother's an Arsenal fan. We went to Upton Park to watch West Ham versus Liverpool. Like, I went to Cardiff City to watch a championship match with my brother, younger brother. Cardiff versus Nottingham Forest. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are just silly, man. Because they feel like they've been attacked because I said or I posted something against Mason Mount. It's mad. Anyway, let's come back to this. Let's now look into the Callum Hudson-Odoi situation, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Ball saying, Miz, you don't have to explain yourself. The trolls are never going to understand. You bleed. Exactly, man. Well, why would I sit here and talk about Chelsea? Like, honestly, if I'm not a Chelsea fan, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Okay, let's have a look at this particular news. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, it's in regards to Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I'm very, very, very scared about this guy's future. His numbers are not looking good. He got hooked off again at halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Xavi Alonso over there is doing really well. Xavi Alonso, it took Bayer Leverkusen, who were in the relegation zone, and now he's taken them to 8th or 7th in the table. I think there was 17th. As I said, every time I've watched Bayer Leverkusen, I'm more focused on Diaby. I'm more focused on what Diaby does. I never see what Callum does because Callum's literally does nothing in those games. Check this out. This is what Sarri had to say. And this is, I guess, something that we need to apply on Andrey Santos as well. I know we're getting hyped. I'm getting hyped about Andrey Santos, but we probably just need to calm down. This is what Sarri had to say. I'm going to read this and then I'm going to share a story with you guys. Maurizio Sarri thoughts on amount of pressure on Callum Hudson-Odoi in 2019. He needs to improve because he can arrive at the top only at 22 or 23. Like every other player, to improve without the pressure of the media, the pressure of the fans, the pressure of the club. This is what Maurizio Sarri said. He knew. He was a kid. I remember, I want to share a story with you guys now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to share a story in regards to Callum Hudson-Odoi before we come back to some more news about him. I remember that season was so polarizing. People were on Sarri's case. Even I was probably earlier on. But as I saw that, hey, wait a second, there's actually a pattern of play. There's actually a system that he's trying to implement. He's got us playing something. Had we still kept him on, and I don't want to look back now. Obviously, we've done well with Frank Lampard the first season, transfer ban. Obviously, with Thomas Tuchel, we won the Champions League, we won the Club World Cup, we won the Super Cup. A lot has happened. But look at what Sarri is doing with Lazio at the moment. Lazio, the way they're playing, they smashed AC Milan the other day, 4-1. I would have loved to have just kept on Sarri because you could see there was a pattern of play. There was a system that was developing. Eden Hazard, his best ever season under Sarri. He said it. Calm down with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Just calm yourself on. And I remember so specifically, so many of our fans, or a certain part of the fans, when the results weren't going our way, they were demanding for Callum to play. And Callum Hudson-Odoi at that point was getting linked with Bayern Munich, if you guys remember. Bayern came in with, I think 40 million offer. And there were certain fans that were literally asking, if Sarri doesn't start Callum Hudson-Odoi, then sack him. They would sack Sarri if Callum wasn't going to start. And Sarri was trying to say, calm down. Give him just a moment. Don't push him. And I feel like Sarri had to cave in to the fans. And now check this out. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This was yesterday. Bayer Leverkusen. I think Bayer Leverkusen won 2-0. But Callum got hooked off at halftime. Callum Hudson-Odoi did not complete a single take-on, 0 out of 2. Did not create a single chance, 0. And ended his game with a XA of just 0.01. and an XG of 0.00. Callum has been taken off at halftime. And this is just on yesterday. Apparently, his last 10 games for Bayer Leverkusen, he's done jack all. And I get it. I know. I understand that injury has really killed his career. I get it. But we probably need to move on from this particular player now, man. Honestly, if he can't perform in Bundesliga, which pretty much every quality attackers do well over there, like it's a league where attacking players can really express themselves. I'm thinking this guy now has to probably try Championship, man. And Championship ain't going to be easy, but it's maybe somewhere he can start kickstarting his career again. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. Sorry, didn't want to stay because of the ban and Juve calling. True. Ms. Don't waste your time and energy on these people. Yeah, fair enough. Callum threw his toys out the pram when he didn't do anything for the clubs. And since he got the big contract, he has done nothing. Exactly, man. He's had 8 goals and assists disallowed. Well, disallowed, man. Disallowed. So, you know, I only want to talk about the ones that has been allowed, not the ones that has been disallowed. I remember that one assist when he had joined Bayern. Yes, against Bayern, I remember he did well. But who would take him? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure someone in the Championship team would still fancy him. His wages are incredible, though. He's on 120K. I don't think anyone's going to pay that level of money ever again. Don, sorry, right again. I'm a philosophical merchant, as you can tell, so no wonder I back Sarri and Potter. Also, Miz, no need to explain yourself, bro. Need more heel, Miz. Cutting promos like The Rock. Bro, when The Rock was doing his promos, my man, wow. Miz, he's had tough injuries. He needs time, bro. What more time? Look, I'm not going to deny that he didn't have tough injuries. Of course he did. But I don't know whether we need to give him any more time. Maybe he can give himself time. I feel like it's time to just cut loose. Do you know what I mean? I think he's only going to have one more season left in his contract at the end of this season. I think it's time we move on. It just shows, man, like there's so many, youth academy enthusiasts out there. Not every youth player is going to make it, man. Not every youth player will make it. We just need to calm down. Look at what's happened to Harvey Vale. Last season under Thomas Tuchel, he got a bit of a sniff, bit of an opportunity and looked really good. Then this season, got a loan to, I believe, Hull City and didn't get an opportunity. And now he's back, I believe, in the development squad again. So, not every youth player. Look at Billy Gilmore as well, ladies and gentlemen. All the hype that we had for Billy, and Billy's done well for us. But now in Brighton, once again, doesn't get a look in. We need to calm ourselves down. We have to calm ourselves down. Not every youth player will make it. Only the best of the best. Only the best of the best. Who's that other brother that went to Leeds? Do you guys remember Lewis Bate? Remember Lewis Bate? Someone said Amadou. Amadou is not our youth player, though. He's not our youth academy player. But I hear you. Another young player. We just need to calm down. We need to calm down and not hype every youngster out there. I know there's quite a lot of people in Twitter that do this, hype up every young player out there. Honestly, it's to their detriment, man. These players, they need to stay humble. Look at Levi Colwell. Stay humble, and he's doing well. And even now, he's picked up an injury. And even Lamptey. I was hyped up about Lamptey, and look at where Lamptey's career is going now. Now he's getting touted around for Sporting Lisbon because Pedro Porro is going to Tottenham, apparently. Once again, Lamptey, injuries have hurt him. We just need to be mindful about these sort of things. Remember when Solanke was supposed to be the next big? Exactly. People were also talking it up with Jude Soonsup-Bell. These things, we need to look at Bamford. Don't work for us, but is doing okay at Leeds. Yeah, some of these players won't work for us. Some of them won't work for us. So yeah, Callum Hudson-Odoi, look, it's a sad story. Yes, the injuries have affected it, but post the injury, he's just not got it back. He's lost all his confidence. Shattered, absolutely shattered. If you can't perform well in the Bundesliga, when people are talking so highly about you, then you need to reassess. You need to reassess, man, and see where things are going. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. Leeway knew he should be starting, and he's proving it. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Over 560 people live right now. Smash the like button before you go. Let's get to 200 likes. Very, very easy. Less than about, 46 likes away. Easily we can get that before you go. Just smash that like button while you're leaving. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys later on UK time with another video wrapping up the day's news. And yeah, I shall see you then. Until next time, everyone, take care and see ya.